Hello and welcome to Insights in Action with Orange 142, where we interview agency leaders and business owners to uncover the journeys, the strategies, and the insights that drive their success. At Orange 142, we're all about transforming brand stories into impactful digital experiences through innovative media and marketing solutions. And today I am very lucky to be joined by Jorge of Culture Konnect. How's it going, Jorge?
Going good, man. Just getting ready for the last leg of the year.
Yeah, we're in the final stretch now, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, you get to feel. I feel like the holiday haze coming over my head a little bit now.
Yeah, it's that kind of like FOMO feeling, but at the same time, it's like, man, I'm ready to take a break.
Yeah, exactly. So, Jorge, I'd love to just start this off by learning a little bit more about your background and learning a little bit more about your agency, Culture Connect.
Yeah, definitely. You know what? Well, you probably can guess from my accent that I'm not from here. I come from Colombia. I got here when I was about 22 years old, and what I was doing in Colombia was architecture. But when I got here to this country, just I had to jump a lot of hurdles to be able to get into that career again. So I just decided to make a career change and I got into graphic design. I still wanted to do something related to art and creativity. So that's how I got into graphic design. And there as I was going to school, I met my wife, who became my business partner as well. So as we graduated college, we started working in the labor force for a couple of years, and then we were like, man, we can do this ourselves. And that's what we did. We opened up Culture Connect in January 2005, and we started just as a pure graphic design studio, just the two of us, with just a couple of clients. And but that kept us busy, and those clients were specifically in the restaurant industry, and the word just got out about what we did for them, and we started getting more clients through word of mouth, which is the best way to get clients. And all of a sudden we didn't have enough hands to keep up, so we had to hire some help and so on. And then our clients started to ask if we did marketing and branding. So we, of course, said yes. So we started to get more and more into marketing and branding, not just graphic design. So nowadays, we specialize in digital marketing and branding. That's the core of our business. But we still do, for obvious reasons, a lot of graphic design. Marketing comes and branding comes with a lot of graphic design, but it's what I do. Unfortunately, in a way, unfortunately, in another way, I don't spend much time anymore in the trenches with the design and all that stuff. I still guide and do some creative direction, but now I'm like more like the 360-degree, like bird's view type of view, to make sure that strategy and implementation is happening and all that stuff. And we, since the pandemic, we like also pivoted from the restaurant and hospitality industry, because especially here in California, that got hit really bad.
Yeah.
And it was an unfortunate thing, not only for us, but it was really sad to see a lot of our clients that we had, small restaurants, small multi-location or multi-concept restaurants, that they just didn't come back.
Yeah.
And it was being a small business that really gets to my heart, because it's really sad.
Yeah.
We were able to survive, so we pivoted to do a lot of content marketing. That's how we, for the past 4 years, we've been like doing more and more content marketing and overall digital marketing, but it's been a lot about that content marketing specialization. So
Mhm.
that's how it came to be and how I'm here right now with you.
Yeah. There's so much cool stuff in that. First of all, you're from Colombia. Great, amazing, beautiful country. I love
Yes.
all of South America, and so Colombia is awesome. And the second thing, you guys have been around since 2005. You're coming up on 20 years now, and you just don't hear about marketing agencies lasting that long, you know what I mean? And so that's amazing that you guys have been around. It's probably a testament to how you guys work with your clients and the results that you provide. And the other thing that was really interesting to me is your business partner is your wife. I know that isn't for everybody, and I'm sure there's extra care that it takes. Have you guys like how has that been? How's it been to have your business partner as your wife?
No, it's an interesting thing, and it's a question that we normally get when we say that we are husband and wife.
Uh,
Just to rewind a little bit, because it has to do with a relationship at the office and personally as husband and wife.
mhm,
The name Culture Connect.
mhm,
The name Culture Connect came to be because I'm from Colombia, just like I said before, but she's
mhm.
from here.
Okay.
She is born and raised here. So the way we came up with the name was because we were like connecting those two cultures, the South American culture and the American culture, and making something greater out of it.
Mhm,
But then it evolved to something that went beyond that. And especially since we started doing more marketing for our clients, that name evolved to be something that was about the culture of our clients.
yeah.
So we immerse in our clients' cultures to be able to do what we do to support their growth.
Mhm,
Because I don't think otherwise we would be able to do what we do. Now,
mhm,
going back to husband and wife, it really is a fine line.
mhm.
But at the same time, it's gives a little bit of additional topics of conversation, because believe it or not, she is in her world when she's working on her stuff for the business, and I'm on my world when I'm working on stuff for the business. So and we talk as the day goes by, but it's we're just focused on what we're doing, and at the end of the day, we just talk about how our day was and things like that, just as if we had separate jobs at separate companies. It's a lot of just like you would think a husband and wife relationship would work. When you have a partner, it's pretty much like a relationship that you have with a significant other,
Right.
right? You really have to be able to yield sometimes, but sometimes you also have to stand your ground and just make sure that you're heard. But overall, we are from the very beginning, we just found that we worked really well together when it came to business. She is what I call the visionary. She has the vision, man. She has a really good vision. She really can see things from up there, and she has 1,000 ideas a minute. And I'm the one who comes in and like reel her in
Mm,
and say, hey, let's go slower, one
yeah.
idea at a time.
Right.
So
Right.
I'm more of the implementer, which makes us a really good combination, having a visionary, but also at the same time, someone that has like the same level of authority to bring that visionary to reality, and vice versa. For me, being the implementer, just be able to dream about things, right?
Right.
Because otherwise, I would be just realistic, pessimistic all the time.
Yeah.
And otherwise, for her, it would be just like all these ideas, but nothing gets implemented. So that's when I come in and I make sure, let's work on this one, two, three
Yeah.
ideas, and then we'll move to the next.
Yeah, that's awesome,
Hmm.
and I'm sure it comes with its own challenges, but lots of people I talk to that are in that same situation, they wouldn't have it any other way, and you guys do sound like you balance each other out really well. And so you mentioned something there that I wanted to touch on. You guys emphasize the importance of deeply understanding your client's business culture. And so I'm curious, what steps do you guys truly or take to truly immersify yourself in their world and ensure that your strategies align with their unique needs?
Yeah, so we don't do absolutely anything until we understand what not only what the client's needs are, but also where they're coming from, how they've come to be what they are at this very moment, and also to understand their internal culture. Like was I don't want to say every time, but many times, if not most of the times, we like to do the informal interviews with our staff, just like to get a little bit of a feeling with about what's going on
Wow.
internally, because it's a dynamics that affect the outside of the
Yeah.
business, right? And a lot of times when that's happened, because there is normally a decision maker with us making those type of interviews. They're like, man, I didn't know about this, that this was a feeling, staff feeling, or so. It's very interesting to do those type of things because it allows them to also discover layers within their own business. But we interview normally decision makers to make sure that we understand the high level approach of the business, but we also like to interview middle level
Mhm.
to make sure that we understand who is in the trenches.
Wow.
And from there, we normally work with micro and small businesses. We have worked with medium businesses, but not many. We with micro and small businesses, we tend to do informal audience interviews.
Mhm.
Whenever we've had the opportunity to work with medium businesses, now we need to really get into more detail and make those a little bit more formal.
Mhm.
But the informal interviews with their audiences allows us to still get a sense of how that audience behaves, what they're looking for, and then get to form a what we call a persona.
Mhm.
And that persona allows us to use them as a kind of like as a starting point
Mhm.
to figure out who we're talking to and how we need to talk to that audience. And many times it's just a bunch of different personas, not just one. So it is to be able to and to start anything, we really need to understand pretty much the
Yeah.
business inside and out. And many times we also ask them for financial references. We don't need to see all the financials, but we have to see, okay, what's been your net profit over the past couple of years? What's your gross income? Where have you spent the gist of your marketing? All these different things, so we can understand if we need to make adjustments, where do we need to make those adjustments, and with what we bring to the table, we can help you to increase 1%, 5%, 10%, 50%. But it just gives a little bit more of a realistic approach to be able to come up with those type of numbers, because otherwise we're just taking numbers out of our butt.
Yeah, definitely. And I love that the trying to understand that like you guys have created this process about understanding culture by interviewing people. I haven't heard of too many agencies ever doing that. So that is a really cool and a very important step that you won't work with somebody unless you understand what that is. So that's really cool. And with expertise in branding and digital marketing, how do you guys help clients navigate that rapidly changing digital landscape while maintaining authenticity in their messaging?
That's a great question. And one of the main challenges we have right now is with AI.
Hmm.
And one of the things, because we have prospects and we have clients too, that they say, "Oh, you just can't just have Chat GPT write the email." I'm like, "Yes, you can. Be my guest."
Yeah.
But that you're still gonna have to massage that to make sure that you have the right message. That it's. I'm not worried about spelling, not so worried about grammar, but I'm worried about the message. I'm worried about who you're talking to, how you talk to that person. Make sure that you have created a specific format for that email or that format for that flyer or whatever it is. So it's been a challenge to, in a way, and I'm just going to use this word loosely, educate our prospects and clients to let them know that something like that is very useful if you know how to use it.
Yeah.
So do not rely completely on a tool like that. It
Mhm.
would be
Yeah.
one of the ways I explain this to our clients is that you can give Photoshop to your secretary,
Mhm.
but that doesn't mean that she's going to know how to, and she might know how to use it,
Mhm.
but that doesn't mean that she's going to be know how to design a logo.
Yeah.
That's like the same thing about these type of tools. So that's been one of our main challenges lately
Mhm.
in terms of how to come up with or how to approach these type of
Yeah.
situations.
And that's the big thing, it's a tool that's there for you to use to make your life easier, but it's not there to replace tasks, at least not yet. And
Yes, at least not yet.
yeah, maybe one day. I don't know. I just was reading this article today about ChatGPT 5 coming out, and it's like an insane amount. Like it's way bigger than ChatGPT 4. And so yeah, it's gonna like things are getting crazy. Things are getting crazy very fast. And I can see, especially in the small business, I come from a family of small business, right? And so I
Hmm.
can see a lot that how people might be looking at it to replace things like digital marketing agencies or design agencies. And it's just not, that's not its purpose yet. You still need
Hmm.
somebody, you need the captain of the ship there still. And I think that's great to educate your clients on. And so, Jorge, this has been amazing. I love learning about your agency and your history. Where can people learn a little bit more about you, and where can people learn more about your agency?
Well, definitely you can find us at culturekonnect.com, both with K's. Just wanting to be a little different
Yeah.
than everybody else. So culturekonnect.com, you can find there everything, the business and what we do and how we do it, et cetera, et cetera. And how you can find out a little bit more about me, you can find me on my LinkedIn. You can just Google or search Jorge Pacheco, or just go linkedin.com/Jorge Pacheco, and then you can find me there and my experience.
Mm,
I'm pretty active with my LinkedIn just in terms of keeping in touch with people
mm.
through chat. So I make sure that I touch base with different people and just poke them
Yeah.
every once in a while, just so they know that I exist, and I share things with them so they know also that there is a greater network of knowledge.
Mhm.
So you can follow me, you can poke me too, and I'll make sure to also share what I do, what I know, and what I've experienced, because that's one of the biggest things that I like to do is just share what I
Yeah.
experienced in my not only my personal life but also my professional life, because again, I'm an immigrant and I feel that I've accomplished quite a lot being an immigrant and living like a legacy for my kids, and also being able to share what I experienced as an immigrant, being able to have my own business, being able to be successful here, letting them know. And I don't think I mentioned this to you, but I also teach a couple of design classes at a couple of colleges here in California. Uh, I love to teach the kids
Mm.
what I've done and how I've experienced them, so they have much more motivation to keep going. And especially, like I said before, me being an immigrant, you have an opportunity here, and there is no other country that can give you the opportunities that you get here. As much as we can complain, we can make it here as immigrants, and people are amazing. I don't have I I have only the good things to say about how I've been treated here in this country and how this country has treated me.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Thank you for sharing. And that's such a great value that you
Hmm.
provide for students. Thank you again so much for being on, Jorge. This is amazing.